Hello children, so welcome to AIMS India's online classes. Today from mathematics subject, real numbers topic we are going to learn. Our concept is, today's concept is revisiting of irrational numbers. Revisiting of irrational numbers. So actually, what is the meaning of irrational number? The number which is not rational. The number which is not rational is said to be irrational. About rational numbers already we know. Rational numbers means which is in the form of p by q. Which is in the form of p by q. But here irrational means opposite to that we have to take. Which cannot be expressed in the form of p by q. In the form of p by q, that is called as a irrational number. That is called as a irrational number. But here some conditions apply. We are telling that it should not be in the form of p by q. But what about p by q? Here the p by q should be co-primes. The p by q should be co-primes. What is the meaning of co-primes, children? They should have only one common factor. Only one. They should have only one as the common factor. They should not have any other factor except one. Then they will be called as co-prime numbers or relative prime numbers. If we take the example of 3, 7, what are the factors of 3? It is divisible by 1, divisible by 3. About 7, divisible by 1, divisible by 7. What is the common factor? 1, 1. So these two are said to be co-primes. 3 and 7 are said to be co-primes, or we can also call them as relatively prime. Relatively prime, that is one condition. And q should not be equal to 0. That is second condition. Why? Means if in the place of q we keep 0, denominator 0 means that value doesn't exist. Okay, these kind of numbers, which cannot be expressed in the form of p by q, where p and q are co-primes and q is not equal to 0, these are called as irrational numbers. These are called as irrational numbers. Or we can also define them in another way. Which cannot be expressed either termination form or non-terminating repeating form. Suppose if I have a decimal number called 1.24, what does it represent? It is a terminating decimal. Means after decimal point, after 2 places, its value has stopped. It's a terminator means stop. Terminating decimal. Okay. So next, it should not be in the form of terminating decimal or 1.24, 24, 24 and so on. 24, 24, 24. Like this it is repeating. And so on means it is not terminating. It is not terminating. We call it as non-terminating. So this is an example of non-terminating but repeating decimal. So our irrational number, it should not be like this number also, this decimal also. It should not terminate. It should not repeat. So what it should be? It should be in the form of non-terminating, non-repeating decimal, like 1.237, 1, 2, 4, 6 and so on. If we have decimal like this, what we can call it as? And so on is there. It is non-terminating. There is no repeating. It's an example of non-terminating, non-repeating decimal. So these kind of decimals, they are considered as irrational numbers. So for example, root 2. its value is 1.414 something is there, and so on. Root 3, 1 by root 2, 3.102 something, this value. These are all examples of irrational numbers. Okay children, through this slide what we have learnt? The definition of irrational number we have learnt. First definition is, it should not be in the form of p by q. That is first definition. Second one is, it cannot be expressed as terminating decimal or non-terminating repeating decimal. And third one, the numbers which are in the form of non-terminating, non-repeating decimals are called as irrational numbers. Okay children. So next. So here, suppose if we have two rational numbers. Suppose if I have any two rational numbers. I have two rational numbers. Previously what we have learned, we can make their sum or we can take their difference. We can multiply them. We will get product. We will divide them. We will get quotient. Means if we add them, we will get sum. If we subtract them, we will get difference. Multiply, product. Division, quotient. Like that, we will get the result. But the result also a rational number. Means with two rational numbers, if you do any kind of mathematical operation like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, the result also will be a rational number. But while doing division, what condition you have to follow? Denominator should not be 0. Denominator should not be 0. In the same way, if we have a rational number and irrational number, if you add, their sum will come. If you subtract, difference will come. If you multiply, product will come. If you divide, quotient will come. Then that result will be a irrational number. Why? Means we are mixing a rational number with an irrational number with any one of mathematical operation. Then the result will be an irrational number. Result will be an irrational number. Okay children. Next. So just now in the example we have told root 3 is a, here we have told root 3 is a irrational number, is an irrational number. But what is the proof? We have to prove root 3 is an irrational number. We have to prove. So how to prove? Means we will prove by a method called contradiction method. Contradiction means if anybody says anything, we will, if we are opposing them, it is called contradiction. It is called contradiction, means opposing them, or in reverse manner. Okay. Now what they have asked? They asked us to prove it as a irrational number. So what is contradiction to it? We will take in reverse manner. We will assume. Please underline this word children. It is not really. We are assuming it in this method, contradiction method. What we are assuming? We are assuming opposite of that what we want to prove. What we want to prove. And in the last, what we will tell, what we assumed is wrong. So the we will come to in position, the result will be proved. First we will assume one statement which is opposite to the proof. Then in the last we will prove that our assumption is wrong. So proof will be correct. Like that we will do. It is called contradiction method. So they asked us to prove root 3 irrational number. So what we assume opposite to that? We will assume that root 3 is a rational number. Root 3 is a rational number. If root 3 is a rational number, as per definition of rational number, what? Root 3 to be equal to p by q. Root 3 to be equal to p by q. So this is our assumption. It's not real, children. This is only our assumption, where P and Q are co-primes. P and Q do not have any other factor other than 1. And Q is not equal to 0. Q is not equal to 0. Okay, children. What we have assumed? Root 3 equal to P by Q. Now, on squaring both sides. So here root 3 whole square we will do. P by Q whole square we will do. So what we will get? 3. Here square root square gets cancelled. We will get 3. This square we can take for individual terms. 3 equal to P square by Q square will come. If 3 goes that side, P square equal to 3Q square. Like that, one equation we are getting. Okay. So now in RHS side, we have 3Q square. This is LHS, this is RHS. In the RHS side, we have 3Q square. So 3Q square means, as we have 3 here, we can tell that it is a multiple of 3. What? RHS. Because 3Q square, we can write 3 into Q square. So that's why it is a multiple of 3. So if it is a multiple of 3, but RHS is equal to LHS, as RHS is multiple of 3, what we can tell? LHS also will be multiple of 3. LHS also, P square also will be a multiple of 3. But what about P square? P square we can write it as P into P. So if P square is a multiple of 3, so then definitely P also will be a multiple of 3. Okay, children. First, what we have done? We have squared on both sides. 3 we have taken that side. In RHS we have 3. So RHS is a multiple of 3. But RHS equal to LHS. LHS also will be a multiple of 3. But P square can be written as P into P. So P is also will become a multiple of 3. Next. Okay. So P is a multiple of 3. So P multiple of 3 means what? P will be in the form of 3m, because we can write P as a product of 2 terms, because 3 is a multiple. In that 3 terms, compulsorily 3 will be there. We can take another number with variable m. Okay. With variable m. Sorry, children. Here the square should be on the whole. Now what we have? Previously what equation we have? P square equal to 3Q square. P square equal to 3Q square. Okay. Now in the place of P, what I am keeping? Because P is a multiple of 3, we can keep 3m. So what happens? 3m into 3m is equal to 3Q square. One minute, children. So here 3m into 3m, 3Q square. Actually here 3m into 3m, it's 9 actually. 9m square equal to Q square. Okay. So here in LHS we have 9m square, which can be written as 3 into m square. So LHS is a multiple of 3. In LHS we have 3. So with all this explanation you will get confused, children. So here what we have told, now RHS we have told it's a multiple of 3. LHS, now it's a multiple of 3, because here LHS and RHS both are having multiple 3. So 3 is a factor of both LHS and RHS, both LHS and RHS. So means they are having common factor other than 1, which is 3. Other than 1, which is 3, which is wrong. Other than 1, which is 3, this is wrong. Because here root 3 equal to P by Q we have taken. What is the condition here? PQ. They should be co-primes. They should be co-primes. They should have only 1 as a factor. But here along with 1, they are also having 3 as a factor. So, which is wrong. Which is wrong. So, for rational numbers, this cannot happen. So, whatever. Okay, children. Now, on squaring both sides. On squaring both sides, what we will get? Root 3 whole square on the LHS side, P by Q whole square on the right hand side. This square root and square get cancelled. We will get 3 here. P square by Q square. We will take square for individual terms. Or we can write P square equal to 3Q square. P square equal to 3Q square. So let's not get confused with this total theory. Simply what we can tell, P square equal to 3Q square, or else what we can write, Q square equal to P square by 3. P square by 3. We can simply write it as P square by 3. Q square equal to P square by 3. If 3 go this side, P square by 3. So what does it mean? 3 can divide P square. 3 can divide P square. 3 can divide P square. Okay. But we have taken P and Q as co-primes. If 3 divides P square, we can also tell that 3 can divide P also. 3 can divide P also. So 3 is dividing P means P will be in the form of a number such as 3 into M, where M value may be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. But 3 will be in the form of 3M, P will be in the form of 3M. So that's why 3 is able to divide P. Okay. So we can tell 3 is a factor. 3 is a factor for P. 3 is a factor for P, and P value will be in the form of 3M. P value will be in the form of 3M. Okay, children? Next. Now, in the place of P, because here we have P square equal to 3Q square. From this, in the place of P, if I keep, this is whole square, children, 3M whole square equal to 3Q square will come. If in the place of P, if I keep 3M into 3M I can write equal to 3Q square. 1 3 gets cancelled. M into M, M square. 3M square equal to Q square. Again what? If this 3 comes this side, what we can write? M square equal to Q square by 3. Means 3 can divide Q square. Means 3 can divide Q. Or Q will be in the form of 3N, such that 3 can divide Q. 3 can divide Q. So 3 is a factor of Q. 3 is a factor of Q. Here what we have proved, children? 3 is a factor of P. Here what we have proved? 3 is a factor of Q. But is it possible? What we have assumed? What we have assumed? We have assumed that root 3 is a rational number. Root 3 value is P by Q, where P and Q are co-primes. They do not have any other factor other than 1. If we take like this, if we expand our solution, what we have got? 3 is a factor of p. 3 is a factor of q, which is wrong. Which is wrong. Why it is wrong? Because our assumption is wrong. Our assumption is wrong. What is wrong? What is wrong? What is our assumption? Or what is our supposition? Root 3 is a rational number. That is wrong. So root 3 is not rational. So what is correct? Root 3 is an irrational number. Root 3 is an irrational number. Okay, children? So like that we can prove root 3 is an irrational number. So you can explain, you can understand it better with another example. So now in this example also we have to prove in the same manner. Root 2 is an irrational number. That we have to prove by which method? Contradiction method. Means opposite statement we have to take. So what is opposite statement? Root 2 is not irrational. Root 2 is a rational number. That is our assumption. So root 2 equal to p by q, where p and q are co-primes. Q is not equal to 0. What we will do? We will do squaring on both sides. Root square get cancelled. We will get 2 here. P square by q square. So this q square will go that side. P square equal to 2q square. Or reverse. We can write 2q square equal to p square. Or what we can write? Q square equal to p square by 2. P square by 2. That we can write. Means 2 divides p square. 2 divides p square. Means 2 divides p. 2 divides p. Means p will be in the form of 2m. P will be in the form of 2m. Because it will be divisible by 2. 2m. If p is 2m, what about p square? 4m square. P square value is 4m square. Now this value we will substitute in this. We will substitute here. So we will substitute like this. 4m square equal to 2q square. 2 2s are 4. So what will come? 2m square equal to q square. Or m square equal to q square by 2. What does it mean? 2 divides q square. 2 divides q square. Which means 2 divides 3. 2 divides 3. Already this we have learnt in fundamental theorem of arithmetic. If p square is divided by a, then p also divided by a. According to that concept, 2 divides q square means 2 divides q. Means 2 divides both p and q. Both p and q. So 2 is a common factor of p and q. But which is wrong. Because according to our assumption, there is no common factor to p and q except 1. But here 2 is coming. So our assumption is wrong. Root 2. Root 2 is not rational. So what is correct? Root 2 is irrational. That is proved. So we have proved root 2 is an irrational number with contradiction method. Next. Next, children. 1 minute. Now, prove that. Third example. Root 5 is an irrational number by contradiction method. So what we assume, what we suppose, root 5 is a rational number. Root 5 will be in the form of p by q. Okay. Root 5 equal to p by q. After squaring on both sides, what we will get? P square equal to 5q square. p square equal to 5q square. If 5 comes this side, what it will do? 5 divides p square. 5 divides p square. 5 divides p. So p will be in the form of 5m. P will be in the form of 5m. P square equal to 25m square. We can write. Now this, from this what we will take? In the place of p square, I will keep 25m square. 25m square equal to 5q square. 5 times are 25. So what will get? 5m square equal to q square. So again, this 5 comes this side, means it will divide q square. It will divides q. Means it divides p. It divides q. So 5 is a common factor of p and q. It contradicts. It's not correct according to our supposition. So our assumption is wrong. So what is correct? Root 5 is an irrational number. That is correct. Next children, we have to prove root 7 is an irrational number, but without using contradiction method, or by using this another method, long division method. We have to prove it's an irrational number by division method. By division method. So what we can take? 7 point, because they have given root 7. We will take 7 here. From the root 7, we will take 7 value here. So we will start dividing with 2, because 2 2s are 4, 3 3 is 9, it is more than 7. So our division should start with 2. After 7, I can keep point, and I can take zeros as many as I want according to number of decimal places. So 7 means here we have to take only square numbers. So that's why I am taking 2, because we want to find square root. That's why this 2 into 2, 3 into 3, like that I have to divide. 3 into 3, 9. 3 into 3 is 9, more than 7. That's why we have taken 2. 2 2s are 4. 3 will be remaining. 3 will be remaining here. Next, 2 decimals I can take down. It will become 300. Now this 2 will be doubled. 4 will come here. Now after 4, we have to try 41 into 41, 41 into 1, 42 into 2, 43 into 3, 46 into 6. Like that we have to check all the numbers. For which number, if I keep on right side which number, that same number to be taken after the decimal point, because we are taking zeros after the decimal point. That's why here decimal point I have to take. So here whatever number I am keeping, same number I have to keep there. With that number I have to multiply this whole number, so that it will be less than 300. This method already you know, children. So if you don't know, once revise your 8th class basics. Okay, 46, 276. Now again 4 to be kept same. Now 6 has to be double. 6 double means it will become 12. That 1 to be added to 4. So what will come? 52 will come. Here 24 is remaining, 2 zeros. 2400 is there. If I take 4, then suitable number will come. So like that we will go on dividing. But the remainder will never become 0. After decimal point, 6, 4, 5, 7, 5, 1, 3 and so on. Like that the division will continue. Infinitely. because this square root, the square root of 7, it's an example of non-terminating, non-repeating or non-recurring decimal. Non-repeating decimal or non-recurring decimal. So that's why this value will never end. So here, whatever value we are getting here, this will be the square root of 7, 2.6457513, and so on. So as it is in the form of non-terminating, non-recurring decimal, we can tell that it is an irrational number. Okay. So like this division method, we can tell whether a number is irrational number or not. So we have two types of methods. One is a contradiction method, another one is division method. Next, suppose now we want to prove by contradiction method root 7. What we will assume? It is a rational number. We will square on both sides. P square is divisible by 7. P square is divisible by 7. So 7 divides Q. So P square value we will replace here. 7 divides Q. 7 divides both. 7 divides both P and Q. 7 divides both P and Q. Hence our supposition is wrong. Root 7 is a irrational number. Root 7 is an irrational number, like previous examples. Okay, children. Next, one more example. So 3 plus 2 root 5, irrational number. So what we will assume? It's an rational number. It's an rational number whose value is a by b. Whose value is a by b. Okay. Now 2 root 5. 2 root 5, 3 will go this side. What it will become? Minus, not plus here. A by b minus 3. Here also it's minus here. What we got? If 3 goes this side, 2 root 5 equal to a by b minus 3, or root 5 equal to 2 will come this side. It will divide a by b, means a by 2b we can write. It will divide 3. What we can write? Minus 3 by 2 we can write. Both we can write. Now, so here we have like this. Now this is, now a by b is a rational number. A by b is a rational number, which we have taken. In our assumption, we have taken a by b is a rational number. Okay. 3 by 2 already you know. 3 by 2 is a rational number. Here we have got, on left hand side we have root 5. On right hand side we have this value. On left hand side we have root 5. On right hand side we have a by 2b minus 3 by 2. Now I am checking right hand side. In right hand side, this is a rational number. Why? Means if a by b is a rational number, a by 2b also a rational number. Minus 3 by 2. We know 3 and 2 are coprimes. It is also an example of rational number. Subtraction of rational numbers, it's a rational number. So right hand side we have rational number. But what about left hand side? Left hand side we have root 5. Just now we have proved root 5 by contradiction method. It's not rational number. It is a irrational number. It is a irrational number. What we are getting here, children? LHS equal to RHS. LHS rational number, okay. But what about RHS? Is it rational number? No, it's irrational number. So they are equal, we have told, which is wrong. So our assumption is wrong. So the given number, it's an irrational number. The given number is an irrational number. Next. prove that the below examples are irrational. All are same method only. All are same method only. Just so small changes are there. So you can solve them. 1 by root 2 irrational. So to contrary or contradictory or as a opposite, what we will take? 1 by root 2 is rational. 1 by root 2 is rational. 1 by root 2 rational we have taken, which is equal to P by Q. Which is equal to P by Q. Suppose if I want to remove root 2, what I can do? I can multiply with another root 2, numerator part and denominator part. Without changing the value, I can multiply numerator and denominator with root 2. So numerator root 2 we will get, denominator root 2 into root 2, what it will become? Root 2 into 2, root 2 square, square root cancel, answer is 2, root 2 by 2, P by Q, root 2 by 2, P by Q, LHS root 2 by 2, RHS P by Q. Or what we will take? This 2 also we will take this side. Then it will become root 2 equal to 2P by Q. But 2P by Q is what? Rational number. So according to this what? If this is rational number, this also, root 2 also rational number. But is it true? It is not true, because root 2 is irrational number. According to this what we are getting? This is rational number. So root 2 also rational number we are getting, which is wrong. Why? Means root 2 is irrational number. So whatever we have taken assumption, that is wrong. That is wrong. That is wrong. Sorry children, here 1 by root 2. So 1 by root 2 value, it is irrational. What we have assumed? 1 by root 2 as rational we have assumed, but it is wrong. So what is correct? 1 by root 2 is irrational. Okay children. Next what is the question? 7 by root 5. 7 root 5. 7 root 5. We have to prove that it is irrational. What we will take? We will take it as rational. We will take it as rational. We will take it as rational. So what we will get? This we will get 7 root 5 equal to P by Q, or 7 will go this side. Root 5 equal to P by 7Q. P by 7Q. But P by Q is a rational number. P by 7Q is a rational number. This is a rational number. So according to this, this also should become equal to rational number. But is it correct? No, because root 5 is not rational. Root 5 is irrational. So our assumption is wrong. What is our assumption? 7 root 5 is rational. That is wrong. What is correct? 7 root 5 is irrational. 7 root 5 is irrational. Okay children, next example. 6 plus 2 root 2. Irrational we have to prove. What we have taken? Rational we have taken. Rational we have taken. Okay. So rational means it is equal to P by Q. It is equal to P by Q. What I can do? P by Q I will take this side. Root 2 I will take that side. What it will become? 6 minus P by Q equal to root 2. 6 minus P by Q equal to root 2. Or reverse. Root 2 equal to 6 minus P by Q. But P by Q is a rational number. Subtraction of normal integer and rational number is a rational number. Right hand side we got rational number. So left hand side also should become rational number. But root 2, is it rational? No. Root 2 is irrational. So our assumption is wrong. So 6 plus root 2 is a okay children. So that's all for today. So thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for receiving latest updates. Thank you. Have a good day.